Hiya all my Ali Pallies. Now, I was just getting my skincare on, getting ready to do a video of the look that I did the other day. And my Charlotte Tilbury parcel arrived with the new Stoned Rose Instant Look in a palette and the Tatty palette. So I'm not going to do that look now. I've got to do the Charlotte Tilbury one. And then in the next day or so, I'm going to do the Tatty palette. Okay, so, but I know that you were all asking me about how I applied my foundation, my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless foundation the other day. So I am going to do that. And then I'm going to put a timestamp so that those of you that have come on to just see the Stoned Rose Instant Look in a palette can skip to that bit if you want to. All right, so let's get going, shall we? Okay, so first on in, if you want a glowing complexion, it's all about skin preparation. Now, I did put a bit of that overnight repair oil on my skin the other day, but I'm going to do something slightly different. Now, first of all, sunscreen, which I haven't been too consistent about recently, which is why I've got a lot of pigmentation popping through. Naughty me. So this is my ultrasun factor 50 anti-pigmentation with a tint in it, so it's sort of already, now they tell you, the manufacturers, to apply this before any moisturizer so that the ingredients, the anti-pigmentation ingredients, actually work and seep in. I'm just going to put a bit more on my neck. So that is my sunscreen. And then I'm going to use this Aldi serum, which is for the daytime. And it's called, actually it looks so similar in the bottle to my sunscreen. I'm going to mix those up. Q10 Multi-Intensive Serum. So I'm going to put some of that on, a little bit, before my magic cream. It smells nice. Now, I've put my eye serum on upstairs and cleansed my face. So my eye serum that I was telling you about by Perricone MD. And then I put a bit of Charlotte's eye cream over the top of that. Okay, so I've prepped my skin well and truly. And now I'm going to put some magic cream on. If you want glowing skin, it's all about preparation and making sure that your skin looks really healthy before you apply your makeup, of course. It all sounds obvious, but when you're in a hurry sometimes, these are the things, these are the steps that you forget. Now my skin is feeling a little bit dry, what with the cold weather and the central heating. So I'm going to put a little bit more on because it needs it. So have a feel of your skin and get used to how it feels and react accordingly. And yes, I'm rubbing very hard because I want to get the circulation in my face going. Okay? And a bit more on my neck. Plenty on my neck, and give it a good massage upwards. Okay, now, what I did the other day to get the best out of Airbrush Flawless foundation, because it's quite matte and anything that's matte can show up fine lines and wrinkles. So I put underneath it Flawless Filter in shade 3 because Charlotte's foundation is just a little bit too dark for me in the winter. Whereas if I put this underneath, this lightens it a bit. So I have got shade 5, but I'm going to use shade 3. And I'm going to put that all over my face. So I'm going to look very shiny, but this will counteract the matte effect of the foundation. Now, if your skin is very dry like mine was the other day, instead of putting a serum on, put a face oil, but only a few drops, otherwise you'll look too oily. You can kind of tell when your skin needs oil because it drinks it in. And when it doesn't, it looks a little bit too oily. Okay, so I'm going to just buff that in with this brush that I've got nearby. And this is going to give me a glow, an instant glow. So I'm using this as a primer. So for me, getting the best out of Charlotte's Airbrush Flawless Foundation is about a combination of products that I use. I tend not to use her Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder over the top because, again, it's quite matte. So you're putting matte over matte over matte, and that's going to make it look. But I want the longevity of the foundation. So the foundation is good, but I kind of counteract it. So first of all, Flawless Filter, and then I use a different powder over the top. So now I'm going to go in with my Airbrush Flawless Foundation in shade 7.5 Warm, but I've also got a neutral one, and I'm going to use that like I did with the Tom Ford to highlight the sort of areas of my face. So that's my way of mixing them, and I've just got neutral out and not warm, so bear with me, I'll be right back. Okay, so I've got 7.5 Warm now. I'm just going to put a small pump on the back of my hand. It wasn't even a full pump, and then I'm going to dot that over my face. Like so. And then I'm going to blend and buff. And I'm using this Real Techniques travel brush, which I've been using a lot recently. It's just really quick and easy. That one and my Tarte one. Strangely enough, it's not looking that yellow on me these days. Do you remember when I first applied it and it looked a bit too yellow? Now, I want a bit more coverage over these areas around here. So I'm just going to put another little miniature, not full pump. And I'm going to dot that around these areas and around my nose. Like so. And this time I'm just going to stipple it, which will give me a bit more coverage over those areas. And a bit more up there. Just get a tiny bit more where I've got that pigmentation up there. Again, stipple it. And now I'm going to go in with the lighter shade of my Airbrush Flawless, which is, it's lighter, but it's actually more neutral. It's the same shade number, but it's 7.5 neutral. And I'm actually going to use this as a concealer as well as a foundation. So again, not even a complete pump. And I'm going to dot this around the high points of my face, leaving some back to use as a concealer. And I'm going to stipple. So if you remember, this is how I use the Tom Ford shades, and it's got me into using this technique because it gives you a lovely natural contour before you even get started. And then I'm going to use what's left as a concealer, and I'm going to dot it with my fingers. You really don't need colour corrector with this foundation because it's such full coverage. Do you know what? I might just use this as one video. I think I'll do that. And then, I don't know. Oh, I'll sort it out soon. So, that is my foundation done. And now it's all about the setting as well. So what I do next is I don't set it with the Airbrush Flawless finish powder because it's too matte. I set it with my Bye Bye Pores powder because that has got moisturisers in it. It's got an awful lot of oils and moisturisers. And I'm just going to get another brush and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm going to use the Bye Bye Pores and I'll do my under eyes first. And my lids before they crease. Now what happens is at the moment that's probably still looking quite matte. But trust me that because there's so much moisture in this powder, that within an hour, the moisture and the shine starts coming through and it just looks flawless but radiant as well and glowy. And then what I did is I took a little bit more of my Flawless filter in shade 3 and I just patted a little bit more on these cheek areas so that it's giving me even more shine. And then I just pat that with my fingers. Too much on my nose there. See, so you've now got the best of both worlds. A foundation that's going to stay put, but a bit more of a healthy shine to your face. Okay, I'm going to do my brows and my bronzer. Oh no, because there's bronzer in the palette, isn't there? I'll just do my brows and I'll be right back. I've changed my mind. I am going to do this as a separate video just so that you don't have to forward through, because I know a lot of you come on here to see my first impression videos of new Charlotte Tilbury products. So I'm going to upload this one first and then straight afterwards, all ready to go, will be the first impression of the Stoned Rose Instant Look in a palette. So thank you for joining me for this. This is how to get the best of both worlds with the Airbrush Flawless Finish Foundation. And I'll catch you in a minute for the next installment. Okay, see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye. Mwah.